please. I want to see a Benedetta coming up from Slate or Evil. All smiles coming in from Powerful. Maybe he's been saying, you know, let's play the Benedetta. Let's play it. Should we play it? Should we play it?
Maybe they don't have to go for it immediately.
But then
Geo would steal it away.
Geo would pick it up.
So that means that Slate will need to find out a counter in the very event that Evils gets themselves the Benedetta.
Yep, let's say Powerful plays the Benedetta jungle, right? And then Slate.
Still
yeah, Slate counter is Phobius.
Yes.
Evil still has the last pick for Esmeralda. Yeah.
Ah, yes, they can still go around like that. So it can definitely be a okay. I mean, you did speak about Cho as a split pusher as well, but what is the possibility that they are actually gonna put this Cho over to the EXP rather than the, well, jungler role? Because we have seen before the Cho in the jungler role. I think that Bambi is the one that played that. Although I would say it's rather unorthodox, but it can happen.
It's still workable. I mean, if he's going for the Cho damage, right, the EXP lane, it will force Claude to build the Wind of Nature quite fast.
Yes.
Like he doesn't want to get bursted down by Cho quite early, and then there's the Beatrix with the machine guns. So I guess Cho being on the EXP lane is still viable, but then the Esmeralda coming through.
Okay. Technically speaking, a split for split, right? They picked up a link for themselves in order to respond to any kind of split push scenarios that Evil may have in mind. So the entirety of Slate, they have JPL to do all the poking as well as the zoning tactics in order to force Evil to collapse themselves onto Esmeralda. And when the time is nigh, that is where the Faramis as well as the Atlas comes in, and let's not forget about the fact that Claude could come in as well.
Okay, looks like we won't be seeing any Benedetta coming through. But wait, is this a Cho jungle?
It seems like a Cho jungle. Wait, we have seen before Diref jungle too, actually.
That was from Slate, if I'm not wrong.
But which one is more viable in this game, in your opinion?
I would go for the Diref jungle, so that the Cho can pick off anyone he wants. But then Cho being in the jungle is still an option coming up from Evil. Slate's pick has been really more towards the team fight compositions. And for Evil, it's more of a pick off and counter.
Right.
Anti-team fight. With the Grog, with the Cho, you know, being picked off. So
they have Grog as well. So, well, we do have the analysis in. We have broken down the team fights capabilities coming in from both Evil as well as Slate, and what are their win conditions. Ladies and gentlemen, who's going to be coming up on top? Will Slate come up with a clean slate, or Evil will come and put themselves as Slate's kryptonite?
Here we go. This is game number 3. My goodness. Didn't expect us to be here, but so excited that it is panning out in this way. Now in the mid lane, we're going to see a little bit of a scuffle here already. Melon putting out some damage onto JPL and Seilah, forcing them back here. I think off the bat, FMM actually taking this sprint, I think it's normal for Claude, but I'm wondering whether with Grog, Carrot on the opposing side, that would pose any sort of disruption for him to prevent him from going in the back line.
Well, there could be a possibility that he is going to make quite a bit of difference. But with the emblem sets coming out, we can tell exactly what is going on with Cho's item build. Because Cho's item build is understandably going to be one of the main reasons and what we should be looking out for in the coming few phases. With Cho picking up the Demon Slayer as well as I believe more damage to creeps, or rather creeps, as well as the fact that he does have I believe that is, I can't really tell what that is, but one thing's for sure is that he's very likely gonna go for damage, or perhaps even go for some form of hybrid coming in.
Yeah, I mean, the Demon Slayer emblem's definitely going to help him take objective, especially because Gear right now is holding the killing spree. So he's looking for the kills, as he did kind of yesterday with the Amon. A late game character centered on getting farmed through deaths, basically, on the side of evil. So we'll see how that pans out. Seilah also opting for the magic worship, so that means he's aiming for more kind of a damagey. He's not looking to pick up the Avarice to help him scale. Instead, it's going to be focused on damage. Now, top side, JS alone with Seilah and Adammir here. So they're pressuring this top, but Powerful, in the meantime, has been left to take the turtle. JS, oh my goodness, the fatal links coming from Melon onto Seilah. Cult Altar is not going to save him. Puts him in the dirt here. Melon takes the kill.
And now, eventually, Slate has found themselves with their back against the wall, with Evil having the early game advantage. Understandably so, right? Because when it comes down to the gold lane, Coconut, that's playing as the Beatrix, wins against FMM, which is playing as the Claude. In the EXP lane, we're looking at JS, that's right on the Dyrov. He wins against the Esmeralda, especially since JS can just run right into the face of Adammir in the early stages and really just melt him down if he dares to overstay his welcome. So eventually there will be a lot of things that JPL gotta have to do and a lot of things that he gotta have to juggle. In just 3 minutes into the game, Evil has taken their first turtle and a turret.
Yeah, and I'm surprised, right, that Slate has not opted for more lane dominance in this case. It's going to be Evil having the upper hand. Now 4 members pressuring down here onto the FMM. Gets half his HP chunked down. Melon pops the Cult Altar to save himself. Shadow Stampede pulls him back here. Flicker out with the fatal wings! My goodness! On 4 members here, gonna secure 2 kills on the side of Slate. JS dives into the midst of Slate. They trade out 2 for 3. Triple kill though for Adammir.
That was what we want to see from JPL in the previous games. Evil having their head slightly bloated from winning game number 2. They now have a problem dealing with JPL because they would want to congregate with one another in order to win in the early stages of the game, because you know, numbers equals to power, and now that they had the advantage, they would want to escalate that even more. They want to build up onto the tempo, but JPL single-handedly shut down the idea of Evil moving on with that tempo, and I'm pretty sure that from now on, Evil would not congregate so tightly anymore.
I mean, their composition we talked about was supposed to be for disengaging as well, right? So they should be able to try to use that to their advantage. And so far, I think Powerful has not been able to join that and being able to pick off some priority targets. So we'll see how Evil might respond to this team fight. In the meantime, though, Slate going to be able to pressure down a little bit on this gold lane, some farm here for FMM, but they're pretty even now across the levels.
And at this point in time, they are all even Stevens. 90 seconds until the turtle pops up. Slate, let us just let's just talk around Slate as well as Evil once again. What exactly should we be expecting from both of these teams? Slate in the early stages of the game would want to play more for themselves. They want to play defensively, especially since FMM, Gear, as well as Adammir, they all play into the mid to the late stages of the game. Granted, Adammir that is playing on the Esmeralda does have his presence in the early and mid stages, but he comes out really darn strong when he comes over to the later stages once he gets Dominus Eyes, Oracle, and perhaps even when it comes down to the Ice Queen's Wand. That will give a lot of utility to the kit of Esmeralda in order to kite the opponents and of course stay alive for the longest time ever. In the meantime, for Evil, all they want to do is really just go for pickoffs. If they're able to get the snipe down from Coconut, if Carrot is able to cut out a choke point, and let's not forget, Powerful has got his very trusty kicks in order to work towards their favor.
But I like how you pointed out how Slate is playing for the late, right? Because it's not just in terms of the composition. They might also capitalize on the fact that, you know, Slate as a team, they are very patient and very disciplined. They have the stamina to play the long game. Whereas Evil, so far, I think in the games that we've seen them play, they are good in the early to the mid, but sometimes they have a little trouble closing out their games as well. So if they repeat that, then it is in Slate's advantage to play the long game, play the late game, and wait this out. So So, in that sense, I think Evil's also on a timer in the later part. They're probably counting on Coconut to dish out the damage. Not going to have JS with the split pushes, whereas on the other hand, Slate has a few more angles to look at.
Well, if we are only looking for a one-for-one trade, Powerful can essentially, well, lose himself by killing FMM. But who's going to be the answer for Adammir? Who's going to be the answer for Gear? Well, for Adammir, at least we have JS. It's not that big of a deal. But for Gear, that is going to be a problem because Gear would just literally jump over to Coconut and give no mercy. This will put Melon next to Coconut as much as possible in order to horrify this Gear, to bring him down as soon as possible once he comes down from the Tempest of Blaze. That is probably the only window of opportunity that Evil will have in the very event that Powerful is down and unable to create space.
So it's very dependent on Powerful being able to find those picks, or Melon and Carrot to find those wild charge, as well as potentially stealing ultimates. I would suppose Melon in this case, if they're able to pull off a huge, wombo combo teamfight ultimate, will try to pick off Here We Go, as we see now the Cult Altar instead for them to be able to aggress in the teamfight or to disengage.
There's a lot of utility when it comes down to the Cult Altar. Whatever they want to do, they can play super aggressively and not be too afraid of the Fatal Links. Yes, the Fatal Links is going to gather up every single one of the members from the side of Evil, but it is not going to be the insane amount of damage that will bring them down. Most, if not all, of the members from Evil have managed to rotate themselves all the way up to the northern side. All 5 of them. They have responded to Slate, and they are expecting Slate to be around the area. And right as they stayed around for a little bit, they've decided, you know what? We don't need all 5 members here until they open up the brushes here.
Powerful finds them in the bushes. Will be knocked up here. JPL actually just going to make a retreat, just scouting out the area. In the meantime though, Gear has just been silently farming his way up. So earlier on he was, I think, at a level deficit compared to Powerful, but right now he's actually 1 level above.
It is all about laying things, right? Great mobility, great rotation all across the map, and being able to find advantages by killing all of the creeps that are scattered all across Sanctum Island. Now, we are looking at 9 minutes into the game, and that pretty much means that the Lord is currently available for the picking. Adammir and friends have decided to start off with the Lord, picking it off just a little bit and poking this water elemental. But Evil, they're not gonna say no to a free Lord. That is if they manage to find it. They're trying to work themselves onto Adammir.
They will have the numbers advantage though, because Gear, even though he's on the bottom side, he can rotate a lot quicker than JS can on this the Roth. So right now just brawling it out, trying to gain control of this mid side here, as well as probably the top waves. But JS actually securing that turret down bottom.
I would say that that's a big take, but in the meantime, hold on a second, Adammir taken down almost immediately, even though Powerful does not have his ultimate, as the Way of the Dragon was popped pretty early to zone Adammir away, because Adammir was being a little bit too close for comfort.
JPL and Seilah though hiding in the bushes, potentially looking for something here. And now the Lord Dance will begin. Evil, they are at 5 members ready to take this. A Renner shot comes through onto FMM, but the Lord is slowly being chunked down here, and it's going to be Powerful that secures it. The Fatal Links onto Slate as well. In comes Gear with the Tempest of Blades, as well as the Blazing Duet to put out the damage. 1 more hit onto Coconut. Will be able to put him into a coffin, but Adammir is back. The Falling Star Moon will land a stun as well as the damage following up from Gear. A triple kill clock for FMM.
So many of Slate's members have dropped themselves to a critical amount of health. Take a look at Gear, literally surviving right by the skin of his teeth. The instant replay will definitely tell us a lot more as to what happened, who popped off with the Cult Altar first, and who's the one who popped off second. Now, to really break this down, the Lord was taken by Powerful, and the Fatal Links is essentially going to be what pulls everyone together from the side of Evil. Powerful connects himself with the Way of Dragon onto Gear, trying to isolate him, but unfortunately he still has the additional health that he gets from the Cult Altar, and that is the main reason why he's still alive and being able to aggress against Evil.
Very, very nice team fight there taken by Slate, and this is what they play for. You know, the huge team fights that we were talking about. Unfortunately, Evo, I think they also committed to the Lord there and were not able to save themselves from the subsequent follow-up fight. So now Slate, they're gonna take along with them some structures on the top side. Powerful, he wants some compensation. Way off the dragon comes up onto JPL, but the call altar is popped by Seilah to save his team members. Will it be enough though? In the backline gear, he's waiting for the moment. Goes into Coconut with the Tempest of Blades. Will not be able to secure anyone at this moment. Instead, it's JS once again, the MVP of the previous game, securing a kill for himself. Slate 3-1 traded out.
What exactly happened in all of that? We thought that Slate may have the advantage to coming up on top of Evil because of the fact that Seilah had all of that called Altar procced onto all of the members from Slate. But one after another, JS finds a kill and then finds another one, then finds the third. JS, the carry of the team, the man on a mission like a man possessed. We cannot put it into words exactly how well of a fight Evil took that in.
JS so far, he's been able to convert his farm and his kills into even more value from the team fight. 6-3-3. My goodness, like you said, absolute beast. And when he's playing these team fights, it really changes things around. At first, he dives into the backline, right, to try to find FMM, but after that, he immediately peels back and helps the rest of his members. I think it worked out in their favor so much this last fight. Slate, right now, they have to contest for this next Lord as well, and they are primed to do that.
With 2,000 gold lead from the side of Evil, they do have some of that economical advantage. But even with those advantages, they cannot just willy-nilly just jump into the enemy's lines. What they can do though is just have Evil, or rather Carrot, just move around from brushes to brushes, check out exactly where JPL is. They need information in order to position Coconut in the right places at the right time. But throughout all of that, during the Lord's Dance with most of the Slate's members down in the southern side, we do have Gear being a pesky little fly, hitting himself to the top lane and putting quite a bit of pressure, forcing JS to go all the way up to the northern side. This is big, as Adammir, he finds himself at the backside.
Yeah, he tries to zone out all the members here of Evil while Gear takes the Lord, but they change their sights. They want the kills instead. Call off the pop and the Fatal Links as well. Gets the members of Evil. Will it be enough? JPL is the one to be put down. Down goes FMM as well. His cult altar is popped. Gear finds Melon in the backline right now. They're just trying to retaliate, but Adammir's in trouble. Powerful tries to scout him out. They're left with one person. Gear with a triple kill. My goodness! And now they turn the tables around. I think they're choosing to disengage from this. Oh, the shot from the Renner misses Adammir by just a hair.
Oh boy, a complete stalemate between these two teams. Both teams were literally hanging on the knife's edge. They were ready to shatter with any wrong move. You can see Adammir as well as Powerful, both of which they would just hang on to their own darn life, while Gear heads over to the back to deal with one nemesis of his own, JS. They managed to bring him down, and that was one of the biggest problems eliminated. In the meantime, Powerful heads to the back.
He kicks Seilah in the air, actually manages to catch him, and the call altar pop in defense here. Powerful tries to go in onto Seilah. Gear cooks this up. First kill here onto Carrot, but it's going to be 3, traded out to 1. They're going in the back line. Melon, JS in trouble, and now it is Slate fighting back to put Evil a team wipeout for them.
Now Evil is the one that imploded based on the wrong rumble. Evil now have got the second tier turret in the middle lane destroyed. The entirety of Slate is just rushing right in. The only one person that can defend this is Carrot coming in 2 seconds, but the offensive capabilities of Slate was still too darn high.
My goodness, that big team fight won Slate that game, and it was looking a bit hard for them, right? Evil, they really had the momentum and they had it going in the early to mid, but once again, just so game-changing. My goodness, from Slate. This is why they currently stand at the top.
2-1 in favor for Slate. Evil were ready to just go right in. They were racing after Slate, literally on their tail, to be that kryptonite. But unfortunately, that story didn't fly. We almost saw that in action. But one thing's for sure, Evil, they must have been pretty happy with the results. They have got one game on top of Slate. They can just watch through the boards, find out what they did right, and in game number 2, what exactly did they do wrong?
They're happy.
They are definitely happy.
happy.
They
Look at
will
them.
be happy.
They're happy! The smiles on their faces from Evil despite losing this set. But they took one game against Slate, made them sweat.